Hey guys, this is Madhav and I'm back with another video. First of all, a hearty congratulations to all the newly qualified chartered accountants. Welcome to the club, guys. So in today's video, we'll be talking about how to crack an interview. So I'll be discussing about the different types of interviews, the various segments in it, and what are the different kinds of questions that we asked, commonly asked questions, how can we answer the same, and how to prepare ourselves for interviews. And at the end, I'll also be sharing 5 secrets or 5 mantras, as I might call it, that everyone must remember before attending an interview. And these are some things that have personally helped me crack some of my interviews that I've been a part of. So let's get started on that note and let's break through the fear that we all have for interviews. So firstly, as you can see on the screen, there are 3 different types of tests or assessments, and these are very common in any interview or any company. So this might not be the actual interview, but these are preludes or things that precede the personal interview, but are a very essential part of the recruitment process. So first comes the psychometric test or the written test. This, as you all know, tests the cognitive ability or the personality of the person. Next is the group discussion, which is also quite famous, wherein a particular topic is given, which can be a current affair or a happening in the industry or any common topic. And a group of candidates will be asked to discuss and debate upon the same and be asked to arrive at a conclusion. In this, the panel of interviewers understand about your knowledge, your oratory skills, your communicative ability, and the way in which you interact as a group and gauge your skills in comparison to that of your co-competitors or the co-applicants. Last is the case-based assessment. A case-based assessment is a situation or a scenario that will be given to you, which can be a real-life scenario or a client's situation, and you'll be asked to analyze the same and give out a solution within a given time frame. So this is a very essential type of testing that is done, mostly for professionals like us. So you'll be given a particular case and there will test on how you're able to apply your knowledge and arrive at a conclusion within a given time frame, and your problem solving ability will be assessed here. Next, we move on to the types of questions. I've broadly classified them into 3. So first is the technical question. These are more job role specific because these can be based on your academic understanding of various concepts from various subjects like audit, or they can be asked about your IFRS or your income taxes, GST. It could be about SFM or some kind of financial modeling, or it can be about the management or about the costing, etc. So this will be more specific towards the job role that you've chosen and based upon that. Next comes the HR or the personal questions. These are more generic ones, but these are in terms of the questions that are asked more specific to you rather than the job. So it's more of person specific than being job specific. So the HR questions are the ones which pertain to the candidate's abilities, his capability, aptitude, attitude, and then his own academic qualification or his or her past experiences, etc. Then the last comes the generic questions. These are very general ones, which may pertain to your presence of mind, your swift thinking, how you're able to spontaneously respond, etc. So these are the broad classification of the different types of questions. So now we come to the important part of the video. So how to prepare for an interview. So these are some of the things that I have done while I prepared for my interview. There are some other ways of doing it, but this is just a very personal experience that I thought I'd share with you all. And by doing this, it really helped me to crack my interviews in a better way. So first of all, do some background research about the company and its founders. So for example, if you've applied for 3 or 4 companies through the ICAI's interview campus, then research about all the 4 companies and try to understand about its founders, about the company since its inception, how it has grown, what it has done, what its contribution to the society has been, etc. So this will give you a very holistic understanding about the organization and might help you to speak up better while you're being interviewed. Next is to understand the type of industry in which the company is operating and to find out the latest updates, news, and the happenings of that industry and see whether that has in any way impacted the company, and if it has, how has it impacted the company and how has the company responded to such a change in the business environment in its own industry. Next is to try to attend mock interviews. You'll definitely gain more confidence. There are a lot of online and offline mock interviews that you can attend. So try to do those. And then try to refer the answer to some of the commonly asked interview questions. This really helps you to have an understanding of what are the types of questions that might come up and how and all you can answer them. Because at the end of the day, the answer you're going to give there is something personalized and you need to do it yourself. But this can give you a broad view or a perspective on how in the different ways in which you can answer the kind of questions that are posed towards you. Then is to revise the key areas and concepts from your CA final syllabus or your subjects. Again, this, like I told in the previous slide, regarding technical questions, they are more job role specific. So for example, if you've applied for a job role in relation to taxation, direct taxation, then you must know your income taxes and international taxes in depth. But then there is no point in understanding about your IFRS or revising your GST. You don't have to waste time doing that. On the other hand, if you go for a very common job role with respect to accounting or auditing, you need to know both accounting as well as auditing, but also a little bit of direct tax, a little bit of law and everything. So depending on the job role that you've applied for, you need to revise those concepts or those subjects accordingly. And do not waste time in revising all the subjects that are not even going to be of any use during the interview. And then lastly, focus on the practical application of the theory rather than trying to go into those paths that you've already memorized and all. So by this I mean to say, while preparing for our CA exams, we do know that there are certain concepts that have to be only memorized, like the section numbers, your provisions, your clauses, and all of that. Whereas there are certain other areas which you use the theoretical understanding and apply and solve the sums or give out solutions or give you suggestions. So focus more on the latter part that I meant and not on the former ones. Like nobody's going to ask you a particular section number or nobody's going to ask you to verbatim repeat a provision during the interview. Instead, it is going to be more application oriented and you have to apply what you've learned and your understanding towards the situation that's given to you on the spot in the interview. So focus more on that. These are a few things that I did and it did help me, guys. So now this is a very, very common thing and I'm pretty sure most of you know all of this, but I just wanted to put them on the slide and repeat them and reiterate them to you. These are some of the most commonly asked questions. So the most commonly asked question is, tell me about yourself. This is how an interview starts generally. And they ask you to introduce yourself and talk about yourself. And when this is done, please just make sure that you're not going to repeat your resume once again, because your resume has all the details and it is already present with the interviewers. So the panel of interviewers will definitely expect something more from you or something different. And when given a chance to speak, make the first impression as the best impression and put forth whatever you can, which is slightly different and unique from that of the other candidates, because they'll be feeling very bored and tired of monotonously repeatedly hearing almost the similar kind of thing from a lot of candidates since morning till evening throughout the day. So give them something new, something unique, something that's different about you that will just, strike the chord right, and you'll get an opportunity to get to work in that company. So make sure you make your first impression as the best impression when it comes to tell me about yourself. They'll ask you to tell about your weaknesses and strengths. This is another common question. Then in case of your CA articleship experience and exposure, you'll definitely be questioned about that, about your hobbies. And then there are some other questions which are very common, like why should you be hired instead of somebody else? What kind of value could you deliver to the organization? Why would you want to join into this company and not any other company? Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? This is like a very small sample from the entire array of questions that is possible. So that's just for you to have a glimpse of the different kinds of questions that might be asked. And then lastly, we're going into the main part of the video, which is the 5 secrets that I wanted to tell you about. So these are the 5 secrets or the 5 mantras. First, stay cool and calm no matter what. So the moment you start panicking, the moment you get all tensed up and agitated, then that's when things go for a toss. So just stay cool, calm, and then you can handle everything in a very peaceful and nice manner. Next is to be true to yourself while you answer. So when you're being asked a question, make sure you are true to yourself and you know that you're answering what you want to answer, because you do not have to try and please the interviewers. Instead, answer honestly, and your honesty will take you places. And this again, I'm saying out of my personal experience, because if you're going to give an answer that is satisfactory towards the interviewers, that might not be of great help at the end of the day. So what matters the most is to be true to yourself. And third thing, which is again a very crucial point, is to answer with conviction and confidence. Because whatever you say, as long as you're going to say it in a very confident manner with conviction, you're sure to get through. Fourth is, this is again very important, it is okay to not know something. So you need to first know that it's okay to not know something. So you need not know everything under the world. So everybody would not know something. So if you go blank or you do not know the answer to the question that is being asked, you do not have to panic immediately. Instead, just take a moment, think about it. And if you still are unable to answer it, tell the interviewer that you do not know this question and ask him to ask another question, or try to just change the topic in a more smooth fashion. Lastly, this is the most important thing, guys. Your life does not depend on this. It is just an interview after all. I'm saying this because the moment we start thinking about this, then we'll automatically calm down. We'll automatically start trusting ourselves. We'll automatically start being true to ourselves and automatically become confident. So all the other mantras or the secrets can be achieved by this one thing. Because the moment we start thinking, what will happen if I don't get the job? What will happen if I don't crack this interview? What will happen this? What will happen that? And the more you become negative, the more things will not happen. So just stay positive. Your positivity will manifest. and things will go great. You'll be able to do amazing in your interviews as well. So just remember that this is not your life. There is any job that is going to be there. If not for this job, you'll do great in that as well. So on that note, I'd like to conclude this video, guys. All the very best and good luck for your campus interviews. Please do let me know in the comment box below on any other videos that you want me to make in the future, or make a more elaborate video about how to answer certain questions that come up in interviews, or anything that you feel like sharing with me in the comment box below. Thank you so much, guys. Good luck.